This is my Beneteau 21.7. She's in excellent condition. There's no marks on her. I bought her from a previous owner who's a friend of mine, and she had her for about 10 years and I've had her for around about 5. She's got a retractable keel. When the keel's down, it goes down to about 1.8 meters. That obviously gives a great ability to go to wind, which anybody who knows these boats will be fully aware of that because they're raced a lot. I've used her for cruising, and she's kitted out with a lot of extras which we'll look at in a moment. The trailer's got new tyres, and it's also got a flushing system so that if you want to use or launch the boat, sorry, off the trailer into the sea, you can flush it to make sure that none of the wheel bearings and things are going to deteriorate with salt water. At the back we have the double rudder system, and the outboard that goes on to Tutti Frutti, my boat, is a 6 horsepower Daihatsu. Excellent engine, and it's a long shaft, so that even if the boat's kicking around in rough water, and I go out of Southwold where it can get quite choppy in the mouth, the tide flows quite quickly, the outboard stays in the water. We'll look at some of the equipment on board in a second and I'll go through that, but just very quickly, I'm going to sell, or I'm prepared to let, if somebody wants it, they can have the inflatable. I've only used the inflatable for going across the river at Southwold to get onto the boat. It holds air. It's not the best looking boat, as you can see, but it does its job really well. It's available if you want it. Sail wise, she's got a really good locker of sails. She's got a very good main. They're all north sails, by the way. She's got a good jib, both in very good conditions, but she's also got a racing sail that's in excellent condition and been little used. She also comes with a spinnaker and a Code Zero upwind, which is a designed by One Sail, and it's called an IFS Next Generation sail, and it's on a roller, so it basically comes off the Selden pole that again I had fitted about 4 years ago now, which fits through here and comes back and locks onto a tab around about here, but everything is controlled from the cockpit. So let's just go aboard now. So the first thing we see is the spray hood, and again the spray hood was fitted, I think it was around about 3 years ago now. Everything, the boat, I basically lifted the spec of the boat quite a lot when I bought her. So it's got grab handles, so when it gets a bit lively, you can hang on if you're standing up. It helps a little bit, which is good. It's also got windows all round so that you've got really good visibility. This can come down. In fact, this can actually you can dislocate it and actually tuck it underneath the area that we're standing now. Again, it was made with a really good material, a high quality material, to reduce any issues with the sun. It can fold flat if you don't want it up, and it comes with a bag, so it will fold into a bag and keep it nice and tidy so it doesn't flap up. At the back here, if we start with the Ray Marine ST2000, I went for the 2000 rather than the 1000, simply because these are powerful boats. They sail really well, and when you're hard on the wind, there's quite a lot of force on the rudders. So basically, I've fitted a bigger auto helm than the normal standard 1000 that you'd normally find on a boat like this. It obviously also comes with an extension as well, so on the tiller extension. At the back, I fitted a Watchmate XB 8000 Class B transponder AIS. Again, because I've sailed quite a bit on the sea, and certainly around Felixstowe now it gets really busy with shipping, I can be seen, but I can also see all the other boats as well, and ships, which is really handy. The solar panel is a Marlex Alpex range solar panel designed. It's a marine one, and it produces enough power to keep all the electrics on the boat going. So whether I'm sailing all day with the auto helm, and I've got the radio on, got my iPad running, I'm charging it off the batteries, it basically copes with all that, no problems at all. If you don't want this on because you're racing, this pole comes out, everything detaches in here, so there's plugs so you can detach everything, or fold it away and put it in there. But this comes off, so you could take that off at home if you wanted to, and not have it on if you weren't in cruising mode, you wanted to race and you didn't want the resistance. So if we go, well, just before we go downstairs, it's got a standard compass, and also a Raymarine I-40, which basically is the depth sounder and the log. So down below, again, we've got a new radio that I fitted, so that we've got a modern radio, and it's a ICOM 330. With the distress button and everything else, so you can call up help very, very quickly if you need it. I fitted an isolating switch so that you know when you've turned it off that everything is off. This is the Vespa Marine AIS system, and it's excellent. It really is excellent. I've had it on 2 boats now, and I'd certainly I could be a salesman, I think, because it works so well. At the top here you've got some USB ports, whoops, there we go, USB ports, which I basically run my iPad off. I navigate with a small iPad on the deck, and if I need more power I just get it from by basically plugging in. The solar panel has a PV Logic controller unit, which you can see working here at the moment, and that basically makes sure that batteries don't overcharge, so you can leave the solar panel on. It's the sort of thing that you could, if you wanted to race her, you could put the solar panel on when you leave her on the mooring, if that's where you leave her, or at home even. Charge the batteries up and then take it off before you go to sea. And you've got 2 batteries in here, so under here, if we just pull this aside for a moment, there's a battery on each side. So there's one on this side, and there's also one under there, and that one on that side is the brand new battery, and it comes obviously with the log and the depth sounder, so you've got speed, and you can see the depth. You've got a little sink, and in the front hatch you've got, I think it's around about 5 gallons of water storage that you can actually keep on board. There's a small cooker. This is the cooker I use. People can have different setups. I quite like this one. This one's also, you can lift it off and move it, but also it locks into position when you're downstairs. I also fitted her with a electric pump. So she's got an electric pump, and there's also a manual pump that's with the boat. So if ever there was a bit of a disaster, I've never come close to it thankfully, but if ever you did have a bit of a disaster, you've got an ability to get rid of water very quickly. So that's my Beneteau. As I said, she's a lovely boat. The anchor locker is at the front. It comes with an anchor. It's got a Danforth, I think it's about a 25 kilogram, with chain and cable, so that again, any anchoring you want to do, you'll have no issue with that. All the fittings obviously for the mast are on board, and I don't know if you can see it, but the mast is kept off the ground and stored over on the far side. So that's my boat. Like I said, I'm sad that I'm going to have to sell her, but I have got to the point where I've got to have a serious shoulder operation, so I think the time has come to sell her, which is a great shame, but there we go. So if you're interested, you've got the phone number or the email address, which should be on the website. Please let me know.